Helen, and today's class is to open the shoulders. It's great if you sit at a terminal all day, you drive a car for hours on end, or you wear a lot of heavy kit. So we'll start in Savasana, easy pose. If it feels better, you can sit up on a cushion just to raise your hips higher than your knees. Keep the spine straight, shoulders come back and down. Just start to center in on the breath. Deep inhale and a deep exhale. Bring the fingertips to the shoulders and we'll just start to warm them up. So on an inhale, the elbows will come up, around and back. And exhale to the front. 5 of these. Just get into this joint. It's a 360-degree joint. So just need to get full range of motion. 1 more here, and then reverse the movement. So the elbows come forward, feel the opening in the upper back. One more, and release. Take the right hand and place it just next to your seat. Inhale, left arm lifts, and then exhale, tip over to the right. Really ground in this left sit bone, making sure both shoulders are away from the ears and the body's on the side plane, and descend over to the right. If you want, you can look down at your hand if that feels better for the neck. Just breathe here. Feeling the bend coming from the side body. And then inhale back up. Take the left hand and just grab hold of the top of the right ear. Tent these right fingers, extending the right arm out to the side, and on exhale, just slowly tug the top of the head over towards the left. So keep both shoulders relaxed. Should feel a nice stretch in this right side of the neck. Just breathe here. And then inhale back to center and release the hand. Do the second side. So tent the left fingers to the side. Inhale the right arm up, and as you exhale, come over. You can actually plant the hand and descend over to the left. Both shoulders relaxed. Right sit bone grounded. Breathe here. Always you can look down if it feels better for you. Keeping the shoulders facing forward so the bend is on the side plane. Inhale, center. Grab hold of the top of the left ear with the right fingers. Tent these left fingers out. And exhale, just slowly pull the head over towards the right. Both shoulders away from the ears. Feeling the stretch all in the left side of the neck. Breathe here. And then inhale, return to center. Lift the arms up on an inhale, and exhale, twist over to the right. Left hand comes to right knee. Inhale, lengthen out of the waist, and exhale, twist. You can use this right hand for support towards the back of the body. Breathe here. So every time you inhale, try and lengthen the spine. As you exhale, that's when you twist. Deep breaths, just warming up the spine here. Then inhale, arms up back to center, and exhale over to the other side. Lengthen the spine as you inhale, and exhale, rotate. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, rotate. 1 more breath here. Inhale, both arms come up and release them to the knees. We'll do a couple of seated cat-cow. So on an inhale, the chest comes up, shoulders back, chin towards the sky. And exhale, reverse the movement, round in the spine. Inhale, forward. Exhale, round. A couple of these in time with your own breath. Just moving the spine, through extension as you come forward, and flexion as you come back. Inhale forward, exhale back. And inhale, come back to neutral. We'll come over the toes on the knees and move into tabletop. Moving on to thread the needle. So hands directly underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. Plant the left hand on the mat. Inhale, right arm to the sky, and exhale, descend, twisting, threading the needle. Right shoulder comes down, right ear. Breathe here. Option to lift the left arm to the sky, maybe fold behind, tuck inside the right thigh for a deeper stretch in the front of the left shoulder. If you took the bound version, release the left arm back up. We'll come out the way we went in, left hand plants, right arm back up to the sky. Exhale, descend. Second side, inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread the needle, left ear to the floor. Stay here, or that option, right arm to the sky and fold behind, maybe clasping the inner left thigh. Then inhale, release back up. Plant the hand, left arm comes back up and down to the floor. Next pose is Anahata Asana, which is heart melting pose. So knees are directly underneath the hips. Start to slowly walk the hands forward, spreading the palms wide. Shoulders are wide, and exhale, descend the chest towards the floor. So your chest may or may not reach the floor, your forehead may come down. If you're quite open in the shoulders, the chin and the chest may come down. Try and keep the collarbones wide, widen the upper back. Shoulders away from the ears and arms are active. This is a really deep upper back opener for the shoulders and chest as well. Just melt down into the mat, whatever position is good for you. Then inhale, slowly come back up. Move the hands about a handprint forward of the shoulders. Tuck the toes, and on an inhale, the hips come up to the sky into downward facing dog. So you can bend the knees. Get the sit bones to the sky. Palms are flat to the floor, shoulder width apart. Ground to the base of the knuckles. Triceps are rotated under towards the ears. Upper back wide. You can then start to straighten the legs if it feels good. Don't worry if your heels don't come down to the floor. It all depends on how open your hamstrings are. If it feels good, you may be able to walk the dog. Get a little bit of movement, waking up the hamstrings. Then from here, we're just going to walk forward to the front of the mat. Bend the knees slightly, dangle the chest onto the thighs, just come into this forward fold. You can cradle the elbows, sway gently side to side, ragdoll. If it feels good, you can straighten the legs a bit more, but it's fine if they're bent. Then hands to the hips, we'll stand all the way up. Come into a forward fold again, but this time with a chest expansion. So interlace the fingers behind the back. If your shoulders are quite open, you may be able to bring the palms together. If not, the palms will be apart. Descend the tailbone, lift the chest up, and exhale, bending the knees, fold forward at the waist. Allow the arms to come over towards the floor, really pushing those shoulder blades together. Try not to lock out the elbows. Breathe here. And then on an inhale, just going to twist over towards the right. So pulling this right shoulder back. Feel the stretch. Exhale, center. Over to the other side. Inhale, center. One more breath here. And then using the strength of the core, we'll slowly come back up to standing. Release the arms. Stretch all the way up to the sky. Shoulders away from the ears. And exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fold at the waist. Hands come to the floor. Inhale, halfway lift. Plant the hands, step back to plank pose. We'll move into Vashisthasana, which is side plank, a shoulder strengthener, an arm strengthener. Really ground into the left hand and pour all the weight and come over onto the side, stacking the feet. Shoulder directly above the wrist and right arm comes up to the sky. If this is too much for you, you can stagger the feet or just bring this left knee down. Make sure you're engaging the left obliques, pushing the hips up, stacking the shoulders. Try and keep them in a straight line. Do whatever is good for you. Really plugging that arm into the socket, give stability in the joint, and exhale, release the hand down, come back to plank and straight over to the other side. So roll over onto the right side of the right foot, right shoulder above right wrist, release the left arm up to the sky and hold the position. Engage in those right obliques. Remember the other two options if this is too much. This is a really great pose for overall body strength. Remembering to breathe. Then exhale, the hand comes down. We move back to downward facing dog. Take a free breath here. Inhale, right leg lifts to the sky. Exhale, right foot steps forward. If you can't step it all the way up in one go, you can always move the foot up. Come into a runner's lunge. Right hip coming back, left hip coming forward, and then descend the left knee to the floor. Inhale, chest comes up and interlace the fingers just above the right knee. Descend into the hips. Make sure the core is engaged and the front ribs are in. You might have a slight pelvic tilt that just gets a bit deeper into the left hip flexor, into the front of the body. From here, arms come up, open to a T and just twist to the right. Breathe in here. Then inhale back to center. Bring the palms down and we'll move into a deeper twist with a shoulder opener. So make sure the right knee is above the right ankle. Lift this back foot, the left foot off the floor. Inhale, right arm to the sky. Maybe you can reach back and grab this foot. So sometimes moving the hips back enables you to grab the foot. and descend here. So if you can't reach the foot, just visualize you have it and have this position, or you may have a yoga strap or a tie, a towel, anything. You can wrap it around the back foot. You got the same position. So just it's like a handy arm extender. So whatever your position you're in, descend, relax into it, open the chest. This is quite accessible to you. You may come down onto the elbow. So deep quad stretch and twist. One more breath. If you're on the elbow, come up, release down, tuck the toes back to downward facing dog. Free breath here. Then inhale, left leg lifts, left foot steps up. Come into runner's lunge, second side. Exhale, descend the right knee. Keep left knee directly above left ankle. Come up into this low lunge. Interlace the fingers, left hip back, right hip forward. Engage the core and the front ribs. Tip the pelvis slightly and descend. Getting into this right hip flexor. You know, when we sit in cars or at a terminal all day, we're always cramped leaning forward, so it's good to lengthen and open the psoas in these lunges. And then from here, the arms come up and then come out to a T and stay in this twist here. One more breath. Inhale, lift, then exhale, down. We'll come into that twisting stretch on this side. So planting the right hand directly underneath the right shoulder. Lift the back leg up. Inhale the arm open and maybe reach back and grab. Remember the other options that are available to you and descend. Breathe in here. If it feels good, maybe come down to the elbow. But listen to your body and don't go deeper than is comfortable. And always make sure you can breathe. Sometimes in these challenging poses, you don't realize it, but you're actually holding the breath, and that doesn't really help anyone. Couple more breaths here. As you breathe and surrender, you may be able to open the body a little bit more. If you're on the elbow, come back up. And then slowly release. Lift the back knee, step back. Downward facing dog. We'll bring the knees to the floor. Come as wide as the mat with the knees, big toes together, and sit back into child's pose. Just reconnect with the breath here. Observe how the body's feeling. Observe if you've made any judgments about yourself, about your body, about the poses. Remember, everyone is different. And however deep you get into a pose, really doesn't make any difference. The practice is internal. Is how you feel about it and what you say inside about yourself that matters. So abandon any self-judgment, accept the position you're in today, because that's the only place you need to be. And inhale, we'll slowly come back up. And we'll do a couple of back bends. So come down onto the belly. First one is Sphinx pose. We'll stay here for a moment. Elbows directly underneath the shoulders. Hands flat to the floor, chest lifts and shoulders come back. So this is a supported cobra. Really try and feel an opening in the chest and shoulders coming away from the ears. Try and bring the tips of the shoulder blades together. Breathe here. And take the left hand or left arm and place it so it is parallel to the front of the mat, keeping the elbow directly under the shoulder. Plant the hand and we'll come into half frog pose, Bakasana. Lift the right foot, so keeping the knees parallel, lift the right foot. Maybe on an inhale, you reach back and grab this right foot. So this might be your position, getting a stretch in the right shoulder and also in the right quad. If this is quite accessible to you, you may move to the next stage, and that is rotating the fingers forward, pressing into the top of the foot, shoulder is forward, and breathe here. So this is quite a deep shoulder open, requires flexibility in the wrist, pushing the heel towards the outer thigh. Deep, deep, deep quad stretch. Try not to sink into the left shoulder. Always remembering to breathe. And then slowly release. Don't catapult your foot back. Very gently release. And we'll move on to the second side. So parallel the right shin, forearm. Place the palm flat. Right elbow under right shoulder, bend this back leg, reach back. This might be your position, feeling the stretch in the front of the left shoulder. Otherwise, rotate the wrist, point the fingers forward, and descend the heel towards the left outer glute. Breathe in here. Couple more breaths. And then without catapulting the leg, very, very slowly release. And just stack the hands on top of each other and bring the forehead to the floor. We'll move into locust pose, which is an excellent back body strengthener. Also opens the chest and the front of the shoulders. So descend the pubic bone, engage the core, and bring the hands back towards the hips with the tops of the hands on the floor. On an inhale, everything lifts up. Breathe here. So engaging all of the back body. Thighs are off the floor as best you can. Shoulder blades coming together. Then exhale, release. Release the right ear to the floor and just melt, let everything go. Descend down. Enjoy this moment of rest. Then bring the forehead back to the center. We'll do number 2. So grounding that pubic bone, lifting the core. Inhale, everything comes up. 5 breaths. One more. And exhale, release gently down, left ear to the mat. Let go of everything. Allow yourself to settle. We have one more to do. Number 3. Back bends are very exhilarating, involve a lot of energy and effort, but they are worth it. And although it seems that you need to draw the strength from the depths of your soul to do the third one, they make you feel so good that it's worth the effort. And you've only got to hold it for a few breaths. It's completely achievable. So bring the forehead back to center. Pubic bone grounds, core engages. Inhale, lift up. Make this your best locust. Breathing, everything engaged in the back body. One more breath here. And then exhale, release down. Stack the hands and just bring the forehead down. Just relax here for a moment. Allow the back to settle of its own accord for a few breaths before we move into a counter pose. And slowly push back into child. Come up onto the hands and knees and slowly make your way onto your back. Bring the soles of the feet flat to the floor, sit on the sit bones, lengthen the spine, shoulders plug in the sockets, and then using the strength of the core, release the body down as slow as you can go, one vertebra at a time, until you're all the way down. And release. Bring the knees up, directly above the hips, shins parallel to the floor, cactus the arms open, and then slowly descend the knees over to the right. Head turns to the left. Few deep breaths here. After back bends, twists are so good to do just to reset the spine. Inhale back to center. Exhale over to the left. Head can turn to the right if that feels good. Inhale back to center. And then slowly, one leg at a time, release out into final relaxation. Allow the feet to flop open, palms to the sky, and melt. Final relaxation is the time for the body to absorb the benefits of the practice, so please stay here for as long as you can. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.